My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to the Bazaar. It's time to go in with Pygmalion, and we are still in the Fixer-Upper of a patch. So yeah, am I gonna run Fixer-Upper if it turns up? Yes. Absolutely. Am I exclusively gonna look for it? Of course not. I mean, if you're gonna offer me a Ganjo at the very start that's silver tier, the ability to put any two items on either side and win the first 2 or 3 battles, I'll take it. You gotta go to the Lost Crate. No matter where I go, I'm gonna be able to find something for either side of the Ganjo pretty easily. I mean, we don't win against the Viper. We do win against Pyro, but Fang Dinglet could give me a weapon. Just a 4-second weapon could easily be enough, especially in the universe where I don't end up with... where I do end up with Kina being the only shop that I'm capable of going to this floor. I'd hate to be completely out of a weapon and just focusing on defensive scaling. Because that'll work against some builds. And then all they need is one stinky poison boy, and I'm dead. Yes, you may bite me as much as I like. I'm just going to continue playing this Ganjo until you give me one of your teeth. Or a pelt. I mean, the skill Deadly Eye is there. Weapons have 5% crit chance. I would use weapons. So I would take it. But I'm definitely mainly looking for Fang.
You seem like a nice person. Maybe too nice.
So Kina is not my only available shop. I can tell because she's up against the experience here, so... Oh. Curio is my only shop this floor. Alright. I mean, I'm happier because I have a Ganjo, but like I can't think of a one-space shield item that Curio sells, which is...
I see buried treasure.
a bit of a problem. I mean, so there's Knee Brace. After you fight a player with this in play, permanently gain 100 max HP. I feel like I'd take that literally just to buy 100 max HP right now. There is temporary shelter there as well. When you sell a small item, this gains 5 shield. It only triggers every 6 seconds, which makes it unplayable in this matter. Look, I don't know, maybe. Train Spider every 5 seconds, poison 1. When you sell this, your leftmost poison item gets plus 1 poison. There's a Shadowed Cloak in here as well. I'm definitely going to need a weapon. So ultimately, if I am getting Knee Brace, then I can get Knee Brace, I can get Shadowed Cloak, I can roll, and then I have a total of 5 gold left, assuming I also sell the pelt.
Give me something that's lived.
I think that is going to be the direction I want to go with this. Wait. Yeah, Knee Brace, Shadowed Cloak roll. Knee Brace, Shadowed Cloak roll. And then I'm looking for, like, the weapon Sundera would be insane right now, actually. Oh my god. You are kidding me? The only weapon that we have any access to right now is the Magnifying Tool. Magnifying Glass, rather. It is a tool, though. Every 5 seconds, deal 5 damage. When you sell this, your leftmost weapon gets plus 5 damage. There is Icicle at the start of each fight, freeze an item, start of each fight, burn. Both of those pretty good, but I'd want to get them later than right now. So this is my board. That and just a Magnifying Glass. I'm terrified. Spiked Buckler deals 10 damage, shields 10. It'd be scaling double from the Ganjo. But then I also wouldn't be able to field the Knee Brace. Alright. I'm not telling you this is a good board. I'm not running this because I had a choice. I'm running it because I didn't. Your leftmost item has plus 8% crit chance, or 2 that literally can't activate for us right now. I'm gonna roll left-handed, right-handed would be very helpful. Start of each fight, gain shield equal to 10% of your max HP, your weapons have 5% crit chance, or your weapons deal 10 additional damage. I think I'm going to go with 10 additional damage. With the Shadowed Cloak on field, I feel like it's much more likely that I end up, like, gathering additional weapons.
I'm just getting you ready for them.
This is not where I was trying to be, but...
You do see these
it really depends. If other people also had difficulty, I might have some ability to beat them. Okay, yeah, this enemy has some slows. Thankfully, I am scaling damage on a weapon. So even if they do a bunch of healing, my scaled weapon should be enough to get me through this. I guess the bushel is 80 health every 4 seconds. They could just heal at the right time during the sandstorm and I'll lose. I'll be pretty sad about that, but... You know, not too much I could have done about that right now, so... You do what you can.
Well, I'll admit,
Worked out.
it's impressive.
I believe we're also, yeah, a level higher than the, at that point in time. Which is really what made the difference. If they were the same level as us, I mean, they probably wouldn't have the same items because they would have taken different options on the first day. But if they were the same level as us, I think I do end up losing there. Which is a large amount of the reason why I think it's so important to level up on day one. Speaking of leveling up, give me some 2 gold, some experience. I would love a... Wow. The next word out of my mouth was going to be weapon, by the by. Kina, you sell non-weapon items. How about you give me something that I can put on the other side of the Ganjo and be okay about? Yeah, that's textiles. That goes there. That goes exactly there. That is, in fact, exactly where it goes. Thank you kindly. Realistically, the Shadowed Cloak is capable, like, we really want to use this when it's giving permahaste to a weapon or when the scaling's relevant, and that's not the case in either circumstance right now. Whereas having scaling, shielding, and healing as well as scaling damage, that's enough to take down the Rogue Scrapper, and I'm just going to go for golden experience right now. Especially because the Borea only gives 3 gold, when he's supposed to, I believe, be giving 4 gold. Otherwise, he's the same as the easy options. And Die Mosquito, I mean, look. It's such a dream to get Proboscis. I have no reason to get it right now. I would be getting it and then trying to plan to use it. That's the wrong direction to go. That's the wrong way down a one-way street. Remember what I said about Ganjo, literally as I was clicking it in the very opening screen? It's so good. Oh, it solves so many problems. This didn't even need to be textiles. It could have been basically anything.
I've come too far to let you stop me.
Junkyard Club. When you sell this, your weapons gain +6 damage. So we haven't seen Isla yet this floor, but with Junkyard and Magnifying Glass, we desperately just want to see a weapons store so that I can buy and field a weapon. 2 gold for each weapon you have, including stash. I'd rather actually get a weapon. Flail? Safe. Ooh, Middle, you sell the flail?
I'm pretty laid back.
I do want... I just cut myself off from saying the word admittedly, by the way. I'm so proud of myself. I do space internally thinking admittedly. Outside doesn't say it, except for obviously in this explanation where I said it multiple times. Admittedly, what's that? I like cash register. I probably have enough money to buy it and then roll and then figure out what I'm doing, especially because we have the...
Oh, delivery's free. I
Safe?
like the exercise.
Safe is not worth upgrading. I sell it currently for 3. I could upgrade it for 4 and then sell it for 6. Oh, baby. That's a loss. That's a loss. Jabalian Longbow, Yeah, it sounded like I was going to finish a word there, didn't it? And then I couldn't, because I don't know what I do. This has +1 multicast if you have more health than the enemy. The main problem is because it would require me to take the debrace off for the combat, which I don't want to do. But I guess the Shadowed Cloak is only 2 seconds. It's taking this down to a 6-second cooldown, which is pretty impactful. Pepper Spray, every 5 seconds, deal 5 damage. Same as the Magnifying Glass, but it actually has good text. First time you fall below half health each fight, slow all enemy items 1 second. Alright, it's a big Malian. I do really want to get the additional 100 max HP. It's so huge right now, but like, which of these squares do I give up to get it? I don't think any of them. I almost feel like 100 max HP is worth less than the... Like what? It's that, I guess? And pepper spray goes on field for additional damage. Don't get me wrong, this will win a lot of fights. It just won't definitely win, whereas that, I'm almost certain will. But I really like the knee giving me additional max HP, especially when I'm translating that additional max HP into damage on the enemy. So, you know what?
My people believe
Brace for impact.
boring.
Oh man, that's a lot of items. Okay. You got 2 of them that do things. Very glad that I've got shielding and scaling shielding at that. Okay, yeah. The single second of slow coming out of the marble every so often hitting the textiles is not going to be enough to keep them, or keep me from preventing all of their damage here. Yay, another 100 max HP! Get him, knee brace! Get him! It's so much better now. Eating contest, you say? With another 150 max HP, just hear me out. With another 150 max HP, I think it's pretty difficult to even touch me. I do want to sell Junkyard Club and Magnifying Glass to give bonuses to a different weapon. I mean, if I sold those, so I have 4 spaces after that. I guess I could sell the cash register. I'm not currently making a loss by selling it because I bought it. It cashed in once. I sell it for 4. I bought it for 4. And I'm going to need that operating space in my inventory. Also, for what it's worth, yeah. I can't think of many small items that I specifically want right now. I'm seeing a lot of squares in front of me, and when you see a lot of squares, you want to get more specific squares, ideally. Prostrate Challenger, you have a snow globe I could be interested in. I have no properties on field yet, though. Scout Trooper, I think Textiles keeps us fully healthy against you. And also you've got a lot of fast weapons. Seems a good time. Please stop stowing my Jabalian Longbow, though. It's not going to change the outcome, mind. It's just going to prolong the fight. Alright. We all knew it was going to go that way, but now it has. Uzi, every 2 seconds, deal 4 damage. I mean, that would be an incredible weapon to have next to the Shadowed Cloak, if not for the fact that this then runs out of ammo 12 seconds into the fight without having killed the enemy. Because +3 damage with the fight, it's got 12 ammo, so by the end of it, it's doing 36 more damage. It's doing 40 damage by the end of it. But then it's done.
I can already see the treasures I'll put here.
So, here is the thing. Upgrade a bronze tier item. If we upgrade the Shadowed Cloak, it'll give 2 seconds of haste to the weapon on the right of it whenever it's used, as well as scale 5 damage. The damage scaling, not especially important. But the fact that it gives the additional second of haste means that the Jabalian Longbow, when it fires twice, gets 4 seconds of haste, which is enough to get it back to its next fire. So it significantly increases the amount of damage the Jabalian Longbow is doing by keeping it in perma-haste. Also, it's much easier for me to, like, personally upgrade the Jabalian Longbow, and all of the stores that do upgrade the Jabalian Longbow, I would specifically choose to visit. Oh, incredible. Yeah, because those stores include metal, giving out medium items. Obviously, I care about medium items at the moment. Those include Isla, giving out weapons. Obviously, I care about weapons at the moment. It even includes Kev, because this references your health. And Kev sells health, toughness, and shield-related items. Really hoping for Isla, though. Weak point detector. When you slow, charge this 2 seconds, and it buffs your weapon's damage for the fight. I know that the economic seminar is right there, but the thing is, middle is right there. And middle has
What can I get you?
incredible tools for us. I wouldn't necessarily call Bushel a bronze dog or golf clubs. Any of those? I'd in fact say that they might be near the opposite of what we're looking for here. Silver silk scarf, you say? When you sell another non-weapon item, this gains shield 8. I don't really want it. I feel like I'm being pushed in a much more aggressive direction by having had to pick up an early Shadowed Cloak and then investing optionally an upgrade into it. I think I'm looking for a more weapon-based build, and that specifically is exactly the opposite of what we want with the Silk Scarf. When you sell another non-weapon item, this gains 8 shield. But ideally, I'm either going to buy the right weapons and then not have to field other weapons, or I get something like a Pig's Gym, and I can buy and sell as many weapons as I possibly want to my heart's content. If I had an option to sub in more shielding here, I would. $10 additional damage. 140. I could sell Junkyard Club and Magnifying Glass just to buff the Uzi, but like... You're a Vanessa. The real reason to do that is because Vanessa is a nightmare if she chooses to go all weapons. I have a lot more max HP than she's probably expecting, so if they're ammo weapons especially, I'm probably capable of pulling it back. I don't think I need more damage on the board. I don't think I out-damage them in speed. I think it ultimately comes down to whether or not I just get to stick around for my scaling. And I'm really hoping that I can hold off on selling Junkyard and Magnifying Glass until I get, I don't know, Yo-Yo, Atlatl, Flail, any of the weapons that actually carry the additional damage well. A Vanessa that won her first 2 days, I feel like is definitely going to be an aggressive Vanessa. So I'm expecting like a bunch of small weapons, maybe a couple mediums. Yeah, okay. Ammo? Ooh, no ammo. I was really hoping this would be a cannon, but it's not. You've got a long shot. Oh boy. Okay. Textiles are handy.
Oh,
got him. Got him.
Another round.
Textiles really, really bringing it in clutch there. Perfect. As it turns out, it actually was so close that I do think selling the weapons would have been a difference, just because the additional damage done by the Uzi would have kept them below the target for Jabalian Longbow. So I don't necessarily stand by what I initially said, but oh well. When you use a property, items adjacent to it get 5% crit chance of the fight. When your items gain freeze, burn 8. And your non-weapon items deal 10% crit chance. I'm not certain I'm going to even deal with prime real estate. It's possible I end up with no properties right now, so I'd really like something that's relevant to what I'm currently doing in any way. Healing items have 10% crit chance, similar to what we saw previously. Your shield items have +1 shield for each 4 gold you have, or the first time you use a large item each fight shield, you would 10% of your max health. I can't say any of these are especially good.
Hope we can do this again.
Reserve shield is certainly useful, though. Alright, we're definitely at the position where, like, I can't run, especially without upgrading Jabalian Longbow, I can't run it for another day. I need something else to happen on this board. Kina is selling me almost exactly the opposite set of items to what I want to look for right now, so I'm going to go to the docks looking for a weapon. Mech Moles. When this gains haste, your weapons gain 4 damage for the fight, and when this gains haste, your shield items gain 4 shield for the fight. I mean, yes, I can give that haste. No, it's not a good idea. Well, why? Because what it is every 4 seconds, give 4 damage and 4 shield to all of my items on field. Which is a Mech Moles, an Uzi, and a Textiles. The Uzi will run out of ammo, the Textiles and the Mech Moles... Wait, every 4 seconds, it's give my weapons and my shield items 4, right? Ganjo gives 15. That's probably a fair enough comparison point. I'd love to go to Lost Crate, but Middle literally holds the tools, the keys to the kingdom right now. I'm happy to see the apropos chapeau, but I do have apparel. I've got 2 kinds of apparel. Knee brace and shadowed cloak. Okay. Damn. I think we might be in apropos chapeau build. If you have another tool, weapon, properties, or apparel, this has +1 multicast reach. So I have a tool and a weapon. The magnifying glass is a tool and a weapon. And then I have an apparel. I just don't have a property yet.
I used to offer a free ride home, but people thought it was weird.
I could replace Ganjo with that, and then field the tool for the full 4 multicast. I'm not upset about that board state, but I'd like to change it still. Boomerang, this is a weapon and a toy. It gives us bronze tier loot if we beat normal monster with it. I'm gonna roll just because that's really, really unimpressive. And then I'll take the upgrade for the Jabalian Longbow. This is now gonna be the weapon that we keep with us for a while. Weights, you're a tool. I don't think it's a tool that's appropriate alongside this board, though. It would be replacing Uzi and magnifying glass. Okay. We 100% have enough scaling to take out Hydro Dude, no problem. We actually have way more than we need. Hydro Dude is going to be incredibly easy quarry here. Am I going to regret that I sold the weak point detector? I was forecasting that there would be no slow in this build, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe. This guy does have the 2 good slow scaling skills.
Fresh meat.
It's just Narwhal. Aquatic weapon and a friend. In 4 seconds, you deal 12 damage. 100% mountain pass to try and evoke a fight, and it's the Sabertooth. Hell yeah. So we've gotten 2 mountain passes for 2 fights so far. Or is it 3 mountain passes, 2 fights, and one of them was an item? I think I got a random item from one. But I could be projecting back to my most recent run, so I don't know. Yeah, that's completely fine. Oh yeah, this build beat Hydro Dude, but it's not gonna beat Sabretooth. I would love the Fang. Holy hell! A 4-second, 40 damage multicast 2? Single space item? Oh my god, give me a Fang! Not even one of the better pelts. Sells for gold, though. Silver tier loot item. Silver tier item. Let's get rid of a belt and Ganjo. 5 silver tier spare change. Have a ridiculous I already have a ridiculous amount of money. 2 gold and silver tier loot item. I'm going to give it a chance to give me an item that helps me change my build in some way. That's a bushel. It's not gonna. Alright, let's move on. I don't need the eating contest right now as much as I just need to visit Quixel.
Master merchant or something.
You bronze dog though. When my board is when my plan is onboard scaling, which doesn't have like a long future, to be fair. I do need to find something to pivot into. But I don't think the dog is that right now, and certainly not golf clubs nor silk scarf. That's a lot better. That's a lot better.
I guess.
Regal Blade. When you sell a weapon, this gains 20 damage. Note, I've not sold weapons yet. I've just been collecting them.
Buy from Barcoon instead. He actually cares about this. Okay,
I'll happily buy and sell.
Something huge.
The laser security system, the narwhal, the pepper sprays out of here, junkyard club to buff up all of our weapons. I would love to sell the magnifying glass as well. Unfortunately, I can't. The Regal Blade might not even be a plan for putting on board right now. Realistically, it is a plan to have something to pivot into. And it can scale enough, especially with a Shadowed Cloak that's capable of keeping it a permahaste, for me to use it for the long haul. Yep. Got to keep the magnifying glass because it is my only tool right now. Let's do it. We're now on... Right, the 2 silver, gold, and then diamond, right? So, okay, yeah. It's possible to have a diamond fixer-upper now.
I should warn you. You do see these tusks.
Ooh, those are all squares. So you've got no healing. You've certainly got more damage than me. You've got less scaling, though. I wonder if my textiles are going to scale enough to actually keep me in the game here. So far, it certainly looks like it.
I can see you're going places, but
Get him, knee brace!
chasing you.
This additional... I mean, I run it every single fight, right? This additional 400 max HP is doing so much for us. I really do want to go to Quixel. Yeah, I know Lost Crate's there,
Send
but...
me your huge items. Price?
Oh, don't. Stained glass window. When you win a fight with a stained glass window in play, your properties gain 4 value. If you lose a fight with stained glass window in play, your properties lose 2 value. If you have 4 of your items in play, their cooldown's reduced by 10%. There's the deed. When you sell a large item, this gains 2 sell value. Your items have double value in combat. I mean, I have spiky shield. Do I take deed and give myself the possibility? I would just hate to think back after I 6 and 7 and then 8, and then 9. Okay, so I'd have to lose 5 fights right now. I'd hate to look back at the end of day 9, losing my final fight, going, yeah, I should have taken that deed. But realistically, it has almost no value to us unless I get Fixer Upper. And Fixer Upper isn't in the store. I don't take stained glass windows speculatively.
I guess I made a sale.
Snowball. It says, whilst on multicast, reach adjacent property. And it freezes stuff. No, thank you. Grindstone is there, and that is a tool, but I think a square tool is probably too large for my board state at the moment with the apropos chapeau. Definitely Kev's Armory, possible fixer-upper, but...
Me? Try my best.
Shielded bandages. This says double shield. Not half bad. It's not exactly a one-slot textiles, but like if I have something else I also want to run, it's about as close to a one-slot textiles as I can get. The only problem is if I buy it, it's 8 gold. I field it. Yes, it'll get, 12 shield every time the apropos chapeau goes off. It'll get 6 heal. But this is getting 12 heal and 6 shield. Because it gets 6 added to its shield number and 6 added to its heal number, and then it also heals based on the shield number. So, like, this is double dipping. The textiles is double dipping in the opposite direction to the direction that the shielded bandages would be double dipping. But, like, neither of them is long for the board right now. I think I roll. I think I leave open the opportunity that I can get offered something like a Jabalian longbow, something like a fixer-upper, something more impactful that I would actually feel. There's the shielded monocle. Oh, nasty. I mean, there's a fixer-upper, by the way. Shielded monocle. Every 6 seconds. Shield equal to your gold. This has double shield. And it's a tool and an apparel for the apropos chapeau. Like, I could take that off board, that off board. I could even sell the magnifying glass, finally. And then I would just want fixer-upper and shielded monocle. And then I've got kind of like a hybrid apropos fixer-upper build, and I'm just holding other things in my backpack. Fixer-upper is not bad on field right now. Like, sure, it's every 3 seconds it's shielding for 12, right? It's not huge in that way. It's an additional multicast for the apropos chapeau. It's the real power of it. You want 20 gold from me? Here's, by the way, why don't I just click shielded monocle and go? Because these things just, these two, they came to me for free. And if I took shielded monocle and went, I would be committing to a game plan that at the moment, unfortunately in the current meta, is way too slow. Yes, you can benefit from apropos chapeau in the early game when other people don't have their builds together. But as soon as they have their builds together, even though it's multicast 5 at a 6-second cooldown, it is not fast enough. So I'm trying to find a way where I don't just ultimately end up conceding. Is like, I'm not actually going to concede the game, but like, it would appear a concession if I put myself in a position where I know that I can't win. Admittedly, I don't need Spiky Shield right now. I don't intend to deal its damage with Fixer Upper for a while, so I could slot that over there. Makes it much easier to hit our number. Realistically, this build comes on board after I get a balcony anyway. I could continue just going for the big hunts straight to the mod squad. I no longer have any healing on my board, which I do find a little bit of a concern. Specifically against poison builds, but like, we're on day 5. All the poison builds have died by now. I'm kidding. But only slightly. How many poison builds do you see nowadays? Oh, hang on. By the way, I don't consider Toxic X to be a poison build. It's not. It's a whatever the X was build. Beautiful friendship. When you use a friend, your weapons gain 3 damage for the fight. I'll take it, because this is a Mac. Oh no, Grandmaster could still try and upgrade it. I was about to say, this is a not Mac. This is a Vanessa and Dooley skill, so I'm not going to be offered it in shops later. But the Grandmaster will still offer to upgrade it. Upgrade a silver tier all lower item rather. Upgrading the apropos bow for the board scaling is really nice. Upgrading the Jabalian longbow literally just to double its damage again is also pretty good, but I'm gonna hope that I get to... I mean, the deed doesn't need to be upgraded at all. The fixer-upper upgrades itself. The shielded monocle, realistically, it doesn't matter what level this is. It's got tool, it's got apparel, and it just happens to have double shield. Not really relevant, but it's got a tool and apparel tags. That's enough.
Moving up in the world.
As an economic play, I think I just go and get the small lost and found. Yeah, succulent, sure. There's Midsworth. You'll buy medium-sized items for bonus, but you won't sell any to me. I'm gonna get some more money, and it's a fang. I mean, very little money, unfortunately. There's 4 gold over the course of those, but rather that than go to shops where I just have to look at them and go, ah, okay, great stock, goodbye. Hey, Hefe! Oh, 0 losses so far on a Jabalian. I mean, that makes it less likely that it's a fixer-upper. How likely were they to field that on day 1 and then win? I mean, realistically, this fixer-upper is not actually insane. What makes fixer-upper insane? Multiplying its value, and then especially multiplying its multiplied value again. That's what does it. Not the fact that it just has a big number or it's a good item and it triggers fast. Sure, those contribute. But, like, the real power comes out of the fact that you can multiply it. And they are just scaling it instead. Which is the same as what we're doing right now. It's just we have more scaling. Yeah, that monocle got up to a good shielded amount by the end there.
Now that's quality.
Fixing it up. Absolutely fight a monster. Any additional experience and gold I can get at this point in time is going to be really impactful. Because basically the rest of the stores for me, like at the moment, the rest of the stores for me are, I go to anything that has balcony until I have balcony. And then when I have balcony, I either wait for my enchant on the fixer-upper, or if I want to get real spicy with it and not just wait. I was in a weird terror as though I was going to lose there. Get a spiky shield to deal the damage for me instead.
But not against me.
Heal regeneration skills? No. Rukon teaches weapon skills. Unlikely to be relevant when they're level 6. When we're on day 6 rather, and they are bronze and silver tier. All in.
I do not teach. I help you discover for yourself.
Plus 200 max HP for each weapon you have. Or housewarming gifts. When you buy a property, get 1 chocolate and 1 spare change. I'm going to take the opportunity to roll here. Shield Bash. The first 4 times your enemy uses no weapon item each fight, charge a weapon 1 second. Absolutely. Defensive stance is also here. When you use a weapon, your shield items gain 6 shield for the fight. Our weapons are slow, so we want them faster. We don't want to benefit from their speed. We'll take Shield Bash.
All wisdom has power, but not all power has...
Prospero sells economic items. Those include Balcony. I do have money in the bank, so I will buy truffles and signet ring and then roll as economic investments. There's the balcony as well as piggy plank. I still don't have a way to deal the shield and damage, by the way, so I'm still not gonna change the board state that much. But do I sell the truffles for the fixer-upper? Let's sell the others first, and then reassess here. So I want to buy 12 worth of stuff? Yeah, I was wondering if this might be the case. I'm going to get rid of the knee brace, unfortunately, and I'm actually going to sell truffles to buff the knee brace so that I can sell it.
A wise investment, Mr. Pygmalion.
And do I sell Signet to get a piggy bank when I have no way to actually upgrade the value of the piggy bank? The answer is no. Huh. I think the haste on the Jabalian longbow is still really important here. I don't think I can take out Infernal. Infernal requires you to do so much damage. And the fact that I do a lot of damage, but I do a lot of damage after a while, means I can't beat the Infernal. 1900 health. Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, look, I could go to Zookeeper. Zookeeper has a crook, a day 6 crook pickup after my silver upgrade? Oh, baby, that sounds bad. There's also Foreman, who I suppose I will be going to by process of elimination rather than any active decision. I would have loved to be able to go to the Infernal and beat him. There's 4 experience from them, 1 experience from moving, and then the next 2. I get my level 9 before the end of day 6. That would be incredible. Oh, I'd love to run the Infernal Greatsword. There's so much I want there. Like, I have Shield Bash. So the Infernal Greatsword would trigger quite quickly as well, which is ideal. Can't do it. Cannot do it. Basically, by the time we get 16 seconds into the fight, the enemy kills us. Hits us with the second swing at the Infernal Greatsword. By that point, we have like 100 burn on us. And we just very quickly die. Okay, how long did we get in? Oh, it's Crane. How long did we get into that fight? For 12 seconds, I guess? 1300. 12 seconds? Maybe we could have beaten Infernal, but it would have been surprisingly close, I think. Crane. Every 10 seconds deal 100 damage. It's a weapon, it's a vehicle, and it's a tool. When you use an adjacent large item, this gains 30% damage to the fight. When you use an adjacent medium item, this gains 20% damage to the fight. I gotta say, there is like a little bit of... There's like a little bit of play and just like, boom, you go there, buddy. I have no more scaling anymore, but also, brr, it goes, you know? It's not going to be that. I could go to Andy. Oh, I need money right now as well. Okay, I'm going to the docks. I'm picking up a weapon. The reason to go to Andy would have been looking for rewards card for increasing the value of the fixer-upper whenever I visit a store. But I don't really have the money for that right now. Middle, you sell medium items, but the only medium item I'm like engaged with at the moment is Spiked Shield. Whereas I think Pearls could easily give us something insane. So like, let's just quickly look at the board state. I guess that's it right now. permahaste the shielded fixer-upper. It's 48 base shield times 350 does no damage. Like, it's nothing. So, it's obviously not that. I'm just having a look at how close we're getting. Four, 3. I have size for another. I could field force field if the Pearl Stick side had it. But it's up against the possibility of upgrading balcony or even getting the spiked shield.
Sale, no sale. I want what's right for you.
I'll absolutely upgrade the Jabalian Longbow while I'm still
I
trying to
think you're
make my
really
way
gonna
here.
enjoy that.
It's fun to see the model ship and the snow globe on the same board here. Model ship, it's a aquatic vehicle and a toy. Adjacent toys have +1 multicast. And then snow globe. It gets +1 multicast being adjacent to properties, but it's also a toy, so it gets +1 multicast being adjacent to model ship as well. I will sell Crane and then buy and sell
Free ride home,
Briefcase at
but
some point.
people thought it was weird.
I mean, faster scaling is fun. Apropos Chapeau just having double scaling by being in front of the Shadowed Cloak, but I do think this is the organization we want. And now's when I should expect to be fixed up. I basically have to hope that because they are level 7 and have lost a couple of games, it actually looks like they've lost games recently. I've got to hope that they're one of the builds that is trying to put together Fixer-Upper, but you haven't got all of the pieces yet, and you're still trying to put them on board.
Boring! Are you sure? Have you noticed
Those don't look like Fixer-Upper. Oh my god. So a Lifesteal Flail, because it's got crit shot because of Crow's Nest, and then you've got Deed to double the value of your Pig's Gym. Oh, but the Pig's Gym's base value is garbage! Okay, it's not garbage. Never mind. I overstepped. I'm so sorry. Please stop hitting me, sir. Oh my god.
I bet you will get
Yeah, it's the classic Crow's Nest. It's the classic Crow's Nest pig. I didn't think about it. Arms dealer and lifting as well. Both of them based on when you buy a weapon as well as Pig's Gym. I mean, I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. I'm just very mad at you as well because, like, I'm trying to do stuff. But from that player's perspective, they'd look at my board and go, you got the Fixer-Upper, get out of here. I'm not telling you they'd be wrong, by the way. Minsworth, small and large items, and a lot of the other options you offered me were bad, but I can easily come here and sell you a medium item, as well as get a rewards card for upgrading our Fixer-Upper, and I'm not even gonna roll. Bye, bud. Your leftmost item gains 3 value. Well, you know what? Let's fix it up. Let's appraise that Fixer-Upper. Because I can multiply that by 2 twice. I do like middle store, but like we've got the balcony, we've got the Died. Oh, but I really need the spike shield. Am I gonna go there until I find a spike shield and I'm just gonna like ignore a mysterious portal?
If I don't have what you need, I'll help you find who does.
How many times do I need to let her disappoint me? Stained glass window, though. When you win a fight with stained glass window in play, your properties gain 4 value. When you lose a fight with it in play, your properties lose 2 value. That's not a bad way to try and gain some additional value. Or is it? It's kind of expensive. But also, where would I put it? Honestly, Shadow Cloak is not long for this world, but like... Oh, and the other thing is also apparel already? Yeah, I can't continue to run Shadow Cloak for long. I'm changing.
I want you to be happy.
I am metamorphosizing. Cooldown reduction from Cosmic Rock would be totally appropriate. That said, if I went for Treasure Turtle, I only have to pick up a single experience in the next 2 nodes in order to be level 10 before we get to the next fight, which is really where we want to be. Back to the full 5 multicasts. I do lose the haste on the Jabalian Longbow, but sacrifices must be made. I mean, Rivet Gun from Sergeant Suds next to Apropos Chapeau. It's the dream. It's the dream. It's just, the Apropos Chapeau is also the next thing to be removed from this board, so it doesn't feel great. I mean, we're obviously going to win the fight, so the stained glass window stays on board. Additional value for the fixer-upper. Get him! Here's the part where I tell you I've never actually had the Toxic or the Fiery enchant for fixer-upper. I've always exclusively used Spike Shield, Force Field, something like that. And then here's the part where the game is going to reward me by giving me the easiest tenor.
Not all Jabalians are pacifists.
Sadly hit a Cosmic Amulet there, but that's okay. I realized exactly what was happening as it was I'm not selling that. I realized exactly what was happening as it was happening. I didn't use the rewards card. Oops. Photograph. Huh. Uh-huh. The item to the left of this has a cooldown reduced by 25%. Honestly, no. It's a very expensive piece for me to collect for a board that I'm not currently running. I think at some point I just have to sell the Apropos Chapeau. Goodbye, friend. So I'm using my Jabalian Longbow as my way of dealing damage.
So,
It's a diamond tier Jabalian Longbow. I mean, this is exactly the damage that it wants to deal. All sells large items. I don't care. Battlefield gives us a small stinger. I really hope that my enemy hasn't hit 10. They haven't. They're actually level 8. They're also probably the enemy against whom scaling means the least. I'm not getting cooldown reduced right now, so there's no reason not to just run, I guess, Monocle or Stinger. Maybe Stinger. And a bit of additional damage. No, I want the damage to go to the Jabalian Longbow if it's going to be charged. Alrighty then.
My people would live in peace. Boring!
Oh, it's squares. Oh, a shielded cutlass, you say? So they do have a little bit of damage scaling on their board. The Shark Claws is out there. But Shark Claws gold is still 9 scaling every attack, which is just not much. Their shield is doing fine. The Shield Cutlass is really performing its job. Perfect. All right, one more space and we get our level up. Sure, I'll go look at Kev's armory. Once I have repositioned.
Oh, a customer.
Kev, there's a problem here. Shielded Landscraper. I tried to run this recently in this kind of a build. It doesn't work. Shielded Landscraper is... It can have triple shield. It can have quadruple shield. It can have as much shield as it like. It activates about 4 seconds after the enemy kills you. Big's Gym? I mean, I do like it, but it's way too late. Even though I have Deed and Balcony, like, what am I going to buy it and then start buying every weapon I see rather than just working with what I currently have? I don't think so. I also don't think it's worth me even rolling here. What am I looking to get on the other side of it?
You don't like my arm.
Really?
I tried my best.
Well, I could have a shielded fixer-upper for even more shield, and then I still will need a spiky shield at some point to actually cause me to deal the damage. Or I could randomize. Gaining double shield is nice, certainly. But, like... Is it? If I give it a random enchant, how many of the enchants that it has would be better? How many would be worse? Well, Radiant is probably worse right now. It not being able to be frozen, slowed, or destroyed, not really over the moon with that. It doesn't actually solve any of our problems right now. Shiny, +1 multicast, obviously incredible. Fiery or Toxic, obviously incredible. Restorative, Shielded, Turbo. Turbo's actually really good.
Ready when you are.
Haste 3 items in 1 second, and it'll happen every 2.7 seconds. We can... There's only 3 items on board, so we can eventually get perma haste out of that. Icy for freezing an item, obviously really good. Golden double value, obviously really good. Heavy, So, like, worse than shielded, restorative, heavy, deadly, radiant. So 4 of them are worse than shielded, better than shielded. Toxic, fiery, shiny, turbo, icy, golden. 6 of them. I mean, I don't really want to be randomizing things, but if I have to...
Have you ever considered becoming triangular?
Slow. Yeah, not what I was looking for. Slow 3 items, 1 second. Oh well, that happens. Totore Vortex. Do you want to give me Neurophilia so suddenly, you know, I can use these slow triggers for good? Rather than the evil I plan to use them for? I mean, the next step at the moment is finding some sort of a spiked shield and hoping that it's good enough. Which is not a guarantee. Cog. Every 4 seconds, hasten adjacent item for 2. Mr. Pygmalion. I know Prospero is right there. I know he is. He's right there. I can see him. Oh, I should be using the stained glass window in fights. Oops. Oopsie doopsie. I know Prospero's right there, but Nufu.
Experience is treasure. I will share mine with you.
First time you use large item each fight, shield equal to 10% of your health. I'm actually really okay with getting an upgrading reserve shield.
The violent power. Ayla is your teacher.
Speaking of Ayla being my teacher for the violent path, I think it's time to go to her and see how many spiky shields she has. Buddy, please. We're so far past that. You and I? With the evening spread out across the sky like a patient ether ice upon a table? Come on, give me, you really don't wanna. You really don't wanna help me? You hate me that much? 325 damage from a Lion's Cane at this point. Every 6 seconds. It's significantly less than the Jabalian Longbow, but when it's upgraded, and also it'll give us some max HP as we carry it. I mean, I'm not against the idea of just holding it. But also, how bleak. I think it's pretty expensive to hold, especially in this world where I just need to go to, again, every shop that can sell Spiky Shield until I get it. I know that I sold it earlier, but without selling it earlier, I wouldn't even have the fixer-upper and the... So, I needed to sell it earlier. Don't worry. I needed to sell it in order to pick up the other things. Unfortunately, all of the other things that would have avoided me needing to get a Spiky Shield again failed. So now I need to go find one. I'm leaving.
All my weapons have been tested in battle. Have you?
Tick, tack, taco. You could easily have burn. You could easily have.
I should warn you. I'm not like other Jabalians.
I mean, honestly, just good enough scaling. You could have poison. You do have burn. Not much though. It doesn't look like. This is just a very, very, very fast build. No real scaling on board, though. Got a metronome between your two fastest weapons, both of them on the left side for critical core. The critical core's got a 16% chance to crit when it attacks. Yeah, I'm not seeing the chance that one has here. Oh no, the rocket launcher is scaling. From what? Oh, from firepower, from activating the core. I see, I see. It's actually scaling really well. Okay, never mind. They were cooking. Roast pig, as it turns out. Mr. Pygmalion.
You could learn much from this place. I know I have.
That's 5 times use a weapon each fight, charge a healing item. When you use a tool heal, when you buy a property. I'm gonna get the Invigorating Blade, because it could theoretically be utilized at some point, but my lord. Was really hoping for something better for my properties. Relax eating contest and Andy. If I do go anywhere, it would be to Andy, literally just to look at you.
Just taking the first step toward good
Beautiful.
taste.
And then I'm gonna leave. I could take the piggy bank and try and squirrel money away in it with the rewards card, but realistically, the heavy fixer-upper needs to gain all the additional value it can right now. It's showing us that. Nufu, you're right there, but Isla's... I didn't do the thing. Deadly Atlas Stone, you are way too slow, and I have no way to increase your damage. Flail, way too late, and Slingshot, roll. Alright. Skyscraper. This has double value in combat. If you have 4 or fewer items in play, this has +1 multicast. And it deals damage equal to 3 times the value of your items. Well, if I sold the Jabalian Longbow, and the rewards card, and the Shielded Monocle... 48. Yeah, I gotta get rid of the rewards card as well, unfortunately.
Hey, when you carry my weapon,
Hey, look, it's something. It's something. And something better than nothing, turns out. Oasis Guardian. Actually, legitimately, I'm slowing 3 items every 1 second. You know what? I'm going to go to the Oasis Guardian. I'm also capable of fielding a slightly weaker board against him. I think. 4 of your items. That's +1 multicast, so it'll have 3. It's got double value in combat, and Shielded Fixer-Upper gets double value in combat as well. So it'll be doing more damage. Okay, yeah. So we can use the stained glass window, not only for the 10% additional cooldown reduction to everything, by the way, which is sick, but for the 4 additional value to all of our properties on field. Also, if you give me the fossilized femur when you slow charges 2 seconds and it gains 50 damage to the fight, I'll run that. You couldn't stop me. I guess this has no multicast by default. Because I was looking at it and I was like, oh, +1 multicast. So in battle, it will have 3. No, it's 2.
It's all about
Dang.
motivation. You gotta know what you're fighting for.
There's the Venomander. Let me go grab some money from a treasure chest. Or no money at all, and in fact, just HP.
Come on in.
JJ.
Let's chat.
You wouldn't do that to me as well, would you? I don't have the ability to field a boomerang in a fight randomly anymore.
Happy to make a sale. Sad to say goodbye.
Value in combat. Sure. Like, this is supposed to be the kind of capstone piece for this build, right? Like, in design-wise, this is supposed to be where it's supposed to go, but this just gets enough shield number that people ignore this. I would love it to be useful. Do I want half as much shielding and double the damage? That's the question. I think so. Especially because it comes with 10% cooldown reduction. Well, but this doubles the value. So this doubles its value in combat. So it gets up to 60, and then it'll double it again, getting up to 120, and then it gets doubled again, getting up to 240. Whereas Heavy Fixer Upper will only get to 140, so 240, 140 is 380. So double this to 140, double it again to 80. And then the Skyscraper itself will be doubled up to 60 and then 120, 280, 120. We end up with more value on the board by doubling the Heavy Fixer Up, which makes sense, right? Like, we should multiply the larger base number first. We end up with more value on the board, which then also translates into more damage from Skyscraper. So it's only the 10% cooldown reduction the balcony is applying to the Skyscraper, so we'll ignore that.
My dreams are too big for you to steal.
Lot of burn. Oh, that's a lot of burn. The matchbox. Oh, it's an Alpha Ray matchbox. I gotta kill you quickly. I mean, Skyscraper's doing work. 2,600. I guess the Heavy Fixer Upper is just here to shield me and block as well as be high value for the sake of the Skyscraper. Where do I go from here? 5 tier... 5 gold tier spec. Honestly, it's got to be gold tier loot item, and I'm constantly going to be looking for cooldown reduction. The faster that I can get that Skyscraper, the far better off we'll be. Fishing for a non-weapon item right now feels but also cheap at Keener at least. It's not time for marbles or a Jabalian drill. Subscraper. Heal equal to 4 times the value of your other items. At the start of each fight, your other items gain value equal to this item's value for the fight. So really, you'd want this to have huge value. And it has 12 by default. Healing isn't going to be especially useful. shielding is significantly better because obviously it can apply over the top of your max HP. There's no real reason to upgrade Deed. So yeah, like, would Subscraper replace Heavy Fixer Upper? The answer is no. Would it replace Skyscraper? The answer is no. Would it replace Balcony? If it would, then it should have the Balcony applied to it, so the answer is no. I don't think Subscraper fits in this build. I think it's way too late for Globe for only 100 max HP every day. I was doing that on day 1 with a knee brace.
And that's okay.
Paul, you sell large items. I've got Skyscraper. Do you have another one that I want? Because I think the answer is no. And in response to that answer being no, I'm going to go to Jules Cafe and get about 500 max HP. Not permanently, just a hold for the moment. Yeah, this is certainly enough damage for me to take out the Frost Street Champion. And also blizzarding at the start of the fight? Yeah, that'd be kind of nice. Give me a couple seconds to work on my Skyscraper alone. Please stop freezing my entire board, Mr. Iceman. I only want to kill you. I bear you no ill will. Yatta. And this will be our level 13 level up before the next fight as well. Iceberg. Whenever he uses an item, freeze it for 1 second. I'll hold that for a bit. I'll hold that for as long as I can. Right up until I recognize I can't put it on board. That's exactly when I'll hold until. Isla, you sell weapons. You've done it to me too many times. You've jerked me about. You've played with my heart. And I don't think I want to go back looking for a spike shield at this point. At least, even if I do end up finding one, is it gonna be better than just skyscraping? The answer is yes. But do I want to do it? The answer is still yes.
Good fights lately?
How dare you show up right now? You
Enjoy
absolute
the thrill of battle.
little stinker. Oh. Investment pitch. Double the value of your leftmost item. Let's put that on the heavy fixer-upper. Get it up to 150 default value, and then it doubles that again 300, and then it doubles that again 600, and then it times that by 4, 2400. You want me to upgrade an item? I'll tell you what I'm going to upgrade. The balcony. Literally just lower the cooldown of the heavy fixer-upper. That's all I need to do at this point. If the enemy is capable of slowing me, and they slow me to a degree that the heavy fixer-upper is no longer really doing that much on board, then the same thing would have been true if I had the skyscraper instead. The skyscraper admittedly does get a lot of value right now. Like, it gets a huge amount of value out of the shielded fixer-upper getting the additional. But, like, 600 by default. Times by 2, 2400 is the amount of shielding we're going to get out of it every 2.4 seconds. So 2400. And I have to rely on the skyscraper, which was previously dealing like 1600 every hit. Maybe it's better than Spiky. No, it's not. It's not. Because, like, the heavy fixer-upper goes off at least 2-3 times before the spiky shield goes off. If the enemy hasn't taken away all of my armor, like, we stand to deal 10,000 damage. Well, closer to, like, 7,000. Whereas Skyscraper will not do that as quickly. The amount of damage this can do is less bounded. This is more bounded. And especially against an enemy that's been struggling. I really feel like this is the board.
You do see these tusks, right?
Bunch of weapons and you got a bonk. To be expected. A lot of haste damage scaling. That's good. Well, they're even dealing some pretty good damage with that. You don't appear to have the ability to reload your Arbalist, which is a little sad. Yeah, that was a pretty ideal board to oppose me. Having like a huge amount of damage that it can suddenly deal, trying to slow us down by a full second, charging their own weapons, Deadly Arbalist. Did a lot of damage. But our numbers are just too big. They are just too big.
If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it.
I mean, I can certainly afford to run a Crystal Bonsai if I really want to, but like, if I am going to be trying to optimize in PvE fights, it would be that, so that I can get the Skyscraper additional value, especially considering I'm most likely to end up selling it. Economic plays aren't especially good right now. Yo, way too late. I'm not charging you. Abacus, yes, you are a tool. You give shield equal to the value of the adjacent items. I mean, I'll take it.
You got it here.
I'll specifically take it because when I'm running Spiky Shield, I could just put that next to the Heavy Fixer-Upper and it's another 600 shield. Let's gain some regen there, just straight up. Void Colossus, I gotta be honest, I could whack the ever-loving hell out of you, not a problem. Property Baron, though, you have a skill called Master Salesman. You also have a Skyscraper on board. So because you can't drop the Skyscraper for me, because I've already got a Diamond Tier 1, you only have 4 things you can drop for me, and one of them just so happens to be double all of your items' value during combat. It just so happens to be. So why don't you just so happens to give that to me? Okay. Yes! 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 Oh, hell yeah. I've never had the full double. Master Salesman, your items have double value during combat. I wonder if that takes Skyscraper above. Ooh. Absolutely experienced, thank you. Atira, do you want to double the damage of my large weapons and make this the easiest choice I've ever
I do
made?
not seek this power for my own gain, you know. I seek it to share it.
The first time you fall below half health each fight, use your highest shield item. That would just immediately trigger the shield of Fixer-Upper, which is nice. Sorry, Heavy Fixer-Upper, which is nice, but like these are all pretty low in value. I am gonna take the roll. Second win. First time you use large item each fight. Heal 60% of your max health. When you crit, your heal items get 30. I'm going to take Desperate Cleanse. The first time you fall below half health each fight, remove freeze and slow from all of your items, and cleanse half your burn and poison.
Owen had a saying, power is wisdom. Something like that.
I could do this. I could easily. I think this, with this and the double, and then this doubles itself, and this got doubled by an event after it was max H. Like, I think all of that is going to coalesce.
Get up, bulk up, get solid. That's right.
the really sad thing here is I think that's I think that's still better. I do think that would be significantly more powerful. But it's significantly less cool than that. Like, I've never gotten to use this to its full extent. When has it ever got a more, like, a higher extent than double, double, double? Alright, Jacuzzi.
My dreams are
Also, it's worth saying, like, the spiky shield doesn't really want to get triggered from Shield Bash. It wants to get sped up from Shield Bash, but it wants to get triggered by something else. This Skyscraper is dealing 5,000 damage twice.
believed in myself and I still lost.
It's so much damage. Oh yeah. Okay. Maybe this is better. Maybe it is. Because, like, we also got that's hilarious. We actually got 9,800 shield by the time the Skyscraper went off. Which means... but they did some damage with the fiery caltrops. Okay, so because of the damage they did with the fiery caltrops, the spiked shield would have done slightly less damage than the Skyscraper, but it's actually surprising how close they are, because it just would have done our damage in shield. Aerodrome, and I'm looking for a unique space. If I can... Oh! Monster Ranch. Cooldown reduction. The best cooldown reduction in the game. It's called Insect Wing. When you sell this, reduce your leftmost item's cooldown by a smooth 12%. I'm getting rid of that iceberg. This is not valuable enough to go on this board. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Thank you. There we go. Diamond tier chocolate bars. It's probably better than going to Prospero right now. Well, actually, Prospero could upgrade the balcony. Or even stained glass window. Never mind, it's Prospero.
Ah, Mr. Pygmalion, a man who understands business.
We're way too late in the game to care about our income from ATM. Boomerang?
You've planted a golden seed, my friend. Harvest will come soon.
It's not cool enough. I'm not running the spiky shield. Get out of here.
I bid you farewell.
I'm better than that. A bit of crit shots. I've got the boomerang here, by the way, because I think I can actually run that in most PvE combats right now. And if this gives me a gold tier cooldown reduction for our board or for a single item, then it's absolutely worth it. Funnily enough, Property Baron, you can't upgrade Master Salesman, so I don't care at all. I get, like, they have the keychain, but I already have a full field. So I'm just here to get as much experience and gold as possible.
Seem like a nice person. Maybe too nice.
Picked up a tiny little cutlass. Ooh, 15% crit chance. We do that. Gold tier loot again. Cooldown reduction is the name of the game. Oh. Well. I did want to enchant it, because it doubles its value again. Burn it all! Honestly, Jules Cafe, just give me max HP. I'm clocking out. This is the end of the run. I'm telling you, this is the end of the run right now. You tell me it's not, and I'll say, what the heck are you talking about? That's how confused I'll be. I'll change voice. DR3? Like, it's difficult to get me to change voice. DR3, let's go, bud. I want to see how big the fiery skyscraper gets. It's doubled. It's doubled, and you better believe it's doubled. Is it doubled again? Of course.
I'm huge.
And then again, from the enchant. Okay, cool. That's a lot. Get him! Didn't even burn, just crit him in the face. You know what? By the way, 1,200, 1,264 value on the fixer-upper, and then translating that into insane damage on the fiery skyscraper. I am absolutely over the moon with this build for many reasons, but if I'm honest, the real reason, because I didn't put Spiky Shield back on the field. I ran it in one fight, and then I was like, okay, but can we cook? And then I got back in the kitchen, and they gifted me a skyscraper, and I was like, all right, I don't need to cook. Turns out there's absolute gourmet meal in the fridge. Just gotta reheat that. And heat it up we did.
Yeah, most Jabalians will never know this.
Get him. Especially, by the way, before the patch that's almost certainly gonna do something about the fact that you can double numbers too many times, and then they get really, really nutty. Because Fiery Skyscraper, right? It's doubled by the Deed, it's doubled by the Balcony, it's doubled by Master Salesman, it's doubled by itself, and it's also doubled again by its enchant. And then all of it, it's based on the value of other items. So then the heavy fixer-upper has a double and a double and a double and a double. So it's... I'm so pleased. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been the Bazaar. You know what? At this point, I have so many chests that I'm actually going to wait until I collect 100, and then I'm just going to open that at the end of an episode. So I'm just going to leave that 88 up there and say that my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been the Bazaar. Top left is a series playlist for all my content on the game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at or above the thank tier. And a special thanks this episode to 3D. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.